So, with me in the car today is professional rally driver Craig Breen. Welcome to the car. These are only our second drives with, and we're in a Peugeot, which is fortunate because, well, you happen to drive for Peugeot, don't you?
Yeah, no, I'm very fortunate. Since the end of last year, I got a contract from Motorsport, and I'm fortunate to drive with them for 2 years, and I'm an ambassador for Peugeot Ireland apparently also as well. So the Peugeot brand is it's a big thing for me. It's given me a big opportunity this year.
Well, where's it going to take you? Where you hope? What's the next step? I mean, you're only 22, aren't you?
23.
23. Sorry, missed out a year there. Sorry.
We'll not argue with that. But no, I've been doing a lot of stuff in the World Championship since I started early. I started early in 2009, and I was doing all World Championship stuff. I won the Junior World Championship in 2011, and last year I won the Super 2000 World Championship. And okay, this year perhaps it looks like I'm taking a step back and I'm doing the European Championship, but it's actually it's a side step and a slightly step forward as well, because the European Championship in my category of car is the most competitive environment. So okay, the big aim is to go back into the World Championship again in the next couple of years, but I've got these 2 years to concentrate on trying to win the European title first of all.
So after European title, then back to, well, hopefully back to World Championship, World Rally Car.
Yeah, that's the hope. It's sad not to be done any World Championship rallies this year, and it's really hard just to be listen to the radio or watching on the TV, and I've been driving all them stages before, and it is sad in some ways, but I've got a goal to take off in the next couple of years, and it'll surely make me a more attractive package going back into the World Championship in a few years' time. So, and I'm still quite young. If you look at the top range drivers in the World Championship now, I fit into a good age bracket of the experience I have at the moment. So I'm still quite happy. Yeah.
And your relationship with Peugeot, I take it you have a 208, don't you?
Yeah, no, I was 208 road car, you mean?
Yeah. Car.
No, I was given that at the start of the year by Peugeot Ireland. I had to go down and plug to Emma. She got me in the door and got me my little 208. So I love it. She runs on a drop of diesel and gets me up and down the motorway to the airport every so often. So it's perfect. Yeah,
because most rally drivers, I mean, the ones that are centred in Ireland, generally their own car is pretty crap. It's usually a van or something that'll tow a trailer that contains the rally car in the back of it. It's not really, they don't really splash out in a nice big fancy car. So what's your kind of car history, or even do you have one? Has it all been rally cars?
I kind of inherited everything. I don't know actually. I think I might have had one or possibly two cars that were mine as such. The rest I inherited. I inherited my sister's Civic when I was 17.
Has to be a Civic. Always a Civic.
No, I started with a Civic, and then when I started rallying, because I was heavily involved in kart racing when I was 17, 18, so the car wasn't important. And then when I began rallying, then I inherited my dad's recce car. He had a 330D.
Nice.
It was an old enough one, but it had all the sum cars and all the computers and stuff to do the recce, so I started driving that. Then I got a Fiesta ST, which was the Badger. It was black with a big white stripe over the middle of it, so it was christened the Badger.
The Badger.
And then the start of last year, I bought, by pure coincidence, I was driving a Fiesta at the time. I bought a 207, a left-hand drive 207. Lo and behold, at the end of that year, I was actually driving a 207 in IRC.
I was going to say, that's your rally car, isn't it? Well, yeah.
Yeah, just by pure chance, I went on to Auto Trader and found a left-hand drive 207, and it was the only car that fitted the bill. It was diesel, and yeah.
So you're constantly rallying, basically. You get out a 207 rally car into a diesel 207.
Exactly, yeah.
And now 208.
No, 208. Yeah,
it's taking all over Europe, though. Really, what you're doing now.
Yeah, a lot of them. Some of it is mainland Europe. But actually, hasn't been a lot of them. Has been on the main, as in this, Central Europe. I done a rally in Belgium, okay, but the rest have been sort of island events like Canaries and the Azores and Corsica. And okay, the last rally they're all starting to go Eastern Europe now. So there's Poland was on, Barum rally in Czech. I didn't do that one, and Romania, Croatia, all these Eastern Bloc countries are on now. So. But no, it's a really interesting championship, and you get to see places that you never ever get to see before,
and at high speed.
Yeah, you don't get to see a whole lot of it. Yeah, so but no, it's nice now. It's really, really nice.
And what's your next rally? Where's the next one going on? That's soon, isn't it?
Yeah, next week. I leave now on Sunday to go to San Remo. I've done that event last year. It's all based in the coastal town of San Remo. It's beautiful, and although I kind of refer to it as a cheap man's Monaco, which is what it is really. But the rally itself is absolutely beautiful. It's all up in the mountains behind San Remo, and yeah, really looking forward to that one.
And what do you train? How do you train for something like that? I mean, obviously you can't go out rallying around the roads driving wise, so you must do a fitness or something.
Yeah, I was in the gym this morning at 7:30 and just doing some weight training. I have a trainer, and then I'm back in this evening. Well, I'll probably go for a run myself this evening, and back in at 6 in the morning. Then I've got spinning in the morning, and kept going. Kept going.
Sounds like a fairly tight schedule. I suppose you can't. Can you drive? I mean, is there driving training that you do outside of rallies, apart from going somewhere like Mondello or
Well, Mondello wouldn't be much use for what I'm doing, but no, I could. What we generally do is we have a test on the Monday before the rally. So this next week, should I say, we'll go on. I head over on Sunday, and the team will already be there, and I'll test on Monday. So we'll just have a section of road that's closed properly, by the local council that close the road, and we'll just drive up and down as much as we can, make changes to the car, and it's obviously the road will be quite representative of what the rally will be like. So
you don't get much time to mess about with the cars then. I mean, you won't get a full lap at a course or anything to mess around with the car's setup. But
no, all you get is a shakedown then on Thursday, which is normally 9 times out of 10, or probably 10 times out of 10, San Remo's the only rally where it's different. They find a piece of road that's similar to the rally, and everyone gets to do a couple of runs over the shakedown stage. But that's basically as it is. It's just to make sure the car is running okay, and it's not so much to mess with your setup. It's just to make sure everything is running okay. But actually, this in San Remo, they actually use the first 3 or 4 kilometers of the first stage of the rally as the shakedown, and you run that on Thursday before the rally starts on Friday. So on Thursday they open 3 or 4 kilometers of the first part of the first stage, and you drive that up and down as much as you want. So that's your only time to practice really, which is it's different than any other sport. I think it was calculated one time about how many hours was needed to become a professional player in something, whereas in a rally car, you just don't have the opportunity to have that many hours practicing. So
yeah, you're either good or you're not.
Yeah, you just have to, when you have that opportunity, and when the clock strikes 9 o'clock on Monday morning, you have to put absolutely 1,000% into squeezing every drop out of the 6 or 7 hours you have to drive, and then when it's lights out, you have to be sure everything is in a proper way to start the rally. So.
And then you got to start it all again tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Every day.
Yeah. So.
And you've started with karting, didn't you?
Yeah, I started kart when I was 8.
Your father got you into that one, I think.
Yeah, I was just a massive rally nut, and karting was the closest thing. It was something with an engine strapped onto that I could do. So that was the reason why I started karting. I've done it for 10 years. 10 years.
10 years?
10 years, yeah. I got up. I won the Irish Championships 3 or 4 times, and I moved on to British Championships when I was sort of 14, 15, and then I went European Championships, and then towards the end I was doing World Championship karting for the last year or 2, and then I packed it up. Then I was getting sucked into doing single seater stuff, and that just wasn't where my heart was. I wanted to be doing rallying, and that was it. But I was quite good at karting, and people were pushing me to go circuit racing, but I just said no, I really, really want to go rallying now. So
I was going to say, because a lot of people come from, even Michael Schumacher for instance, came from karting to single seat to Formula 1, in that nearly every single seat racer goes that direction.
Yeah. You
veered off though into rallying.
Yeah, it's not common. Like it's really not the proper route, you would say, to go rallying. But I suppose it's not really one, because you can't start till you're 17 or 18. So I didn't start till I was 19, which was even later again. So. But yeah, no, I didn't like the community, to be honest with you, involved in the karting and stuff, and there was I found a lot greater buzz and a lot greater camaraderie between the rallying people, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I went that way. And it was definitely the right decision, because I was far better on rallying than I was on circuits.
I think you're always better at things you love them, aren't you?
Ah, yeah.
If you love something, you'll do it 100% or more if you can.
Yeah, my heart just wasn't in the karting stuff really in the end.
But since then you went in, from there you went to, was it Ford first?
Yeah, well, when I say I was driving with a Ford, I had no support, or I had no connection with Ford. It was just Ford was a good car at that time. I started off rallying pretty much in a Ford, and the connection was from my dad. My dad drove with a Focus for a couple of years in the Irish Championships. He won the Irish Championship, National Championship twice. and so there was like a feeder series that Ford are running out at M Sport, the team that run the Ford World Rally, or used to run the Ford World Rally. They had a feeder junior series in Ireland and the UK, and there was actually a World Series as well. So when I started my first year rally in 2009, we bought one of those small, it was just a little Fiesta ST, and I started off in those Irish, British and the World Fiesta Championships, and I won the 3 of them in the first year I started rallying. So that's how I got sucked into the Ford thing, and the following year I bought it was a Fiesta Super 2000 car. It was like a new generation of rally car, 4-wheel drive, 2-litre normally aspirated car. It was, one step down from the World Rally cars. It's the type of car I'm still driving today.
Yeah.
And I campaigned that for 12 for 3 years. And although it was a strange way, because I jumped up into the Super 2000 car, and then at the end of 2010, my second year rallying, I won the Pirelli Star Driver Shootout, which was a competition held in Spain. I think it was about 15 or 20 of us went to it. And 6 were chosen in the end to go and drive in the new WRC Academy, which it was in 2011, which was basically the Junior World Championship, which was everybody would be in the same car, was to try and make it feel a little bit more level, but it was in a 2-wheel drive car, so it was actually a kind of step back from the big cars back down to the small cars again for 2011, and I think there was 15 or 16 or something of us in the Junior World Championships, and it was a good way for me to show my speed on a level playing field. All the cars were run by the same team. There was no outside input. It was done like a draw of the hat at the start of the year, which car you got, and at the start of the rally you got a random ECU, so everyone's car was completely the same, and I won that championship. So that was
pretty hard to do. That's a lot of cars do that sort of. Everyone has exactly a car log without the driver talent or log.
Yeah, it was only that. It was just an initiative that they tried with that series, and it's still continuing today. That was the first year in 2011, so there was a lot of hype around it. So to win it that year in its inaugural year was fantastic, and the prize for that was €500,000. So that gave me some of the budget. It's cruel to say it wasn't all of it, but it gave me some of the budget for 2012, and we already had the Fiesta from the previous year, so I campaigned that last year, the Super 2000 World Championship, and we won that, and then I was offered the gig with Peugeot, and the car is now sold.
So your current car then, the car you're running now, is a 207?
Yeah.
And is that 4-wheel drive?
Yeah, it's same as the old Fiesta had. It's Super 2000, so 2-litre normally aspirated 4-wheel drive for around 300 brake horsepower. Very, very little torque, because obviously it's got no turbo, so you have to rev the engine really, really high. So there's 8,500 RPM, so you have to really, really rev it quite high. And yeah, for next year we're in the middle of developing the new car, which is based on the 208, so it's based on the new body shell.
Yeah.
And that's called, it's obviously been called now the T16, the 208 T16, which is obviously an old name from the 80s when the Group E cars were around, so it's got a big heritage around it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be part of the new R5 class, which is a new class of rally car coming to replace the Super 2000 car. It will be 1.6 turbo, but there's a price.
1.6? Well, I suppose Formula 1 cars are going 1.6 now as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's they're trying to bring the engines more in line with normal road car manufacturers. So normal road car engines like the 208 GTI. Correct me if I'm wrong now. I think that's 1.6 turbo as well. So they're just trying to keep everything in line with the production cars. So
that's unbelievable. Little size that. Can you imagine 1990s trying to get any more than maybe 100 horsepower over 1.6?
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's that's just the way things are going now, and the engines are starting to go a lot smaller now. I've heard of sort of 1.1 and 1 litre turbo engines that are coming out now, and it just seems to be sign of the times, and the performance side of and competition side are doing the same.
Tolerances must be incredibly tight on something so small, putting out such horsepower, with that kind of power. The tolerances must be crazy on it. Are you involved in developing this new car?
Yeah, I do. I've done all the test and development work since January this year. It's been going really well. We've got another very busy period of time now from October to Christmas, so looking forward to get behind the wheel of it again. It's fantastic to be involved in a program like that, especially with a team like Motorsport. They're really, really professional, and as I said, with the T16 name, there's a massive heritage, and everybody is quite proud of their work, and it's got some serious big boots to fill. So yeah, it's really, really exciting to be part of it.
And last year you had a crash?
Yeah, last June I was asked to go and take part in the rally in Sicily. It was quite a famous old road race from times gone by. It was called the Targa Florio, and it was turned into a rally I think maybe 20 years ago, and it's ran as around the Italian Championship for the last, I think, I don't know, 15-20 years. Excuse me. And it was brought in as a round of the IRC, which was the European Championship this year that I'm doing. It was previously called the IRC, the Intercontinental Rally Challenge, but it's been renamed now to the European Rally Championship. So last year it was given a last minute slot on the calendar of the IRC, and I was asked by a team from Italy to come and quite a small new team from Italy to come and drive their car. They just wanted to have a sort of not a high profile driver, but a profile driver driving the car at a rally just to give it a good result. And it was the first time where I had, I suppose, a free drive, so I grabbed it with both hands.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, we went over to Sicily. Really, really nice car. The rally was really nice as well. Sicily's a strange place. It's the temperature is obviously really, really high there all the time. It's more often than not high 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
The tarmac is really, really slippery there because it boils over a lot, and it's just a very strange surface. So
it's like driving on wet or something, is it?
Yeah, and if it rains there, they actually cancel a lot of the rallies. They stop them because it's just too dangerous. It's whatever ingredients, for want of a better word, they have in the surface here. It doesn't offer much grip. But got long story short, I suppose we were doing quite well in the rally. I think we were fifth, or we were very close to the top places. Everyone was really, really close. It was a very short rally. And on the first stage, on the second day, I had an accident halfway through the stage, and in Sicily and a lot of Italy, I've seen it'll be the same in San Remo next weekend. With the AMCO barriers on the side of the roads, they don't dip them down into the ground.
Yeah.
They just leave the protruding end, sort of stopped it at and not with a blade as such, but with a kind of a sharp end sticking up out of the ground. And I came around a very fast left corner, and I just understeered slightly with the grip on the road. I just understeered slightly and caught one of the anchor barriers, and unfortunately it came in through the cockpit of the car and hit my co-driver at the time, Gareth, and unfortunately Gareth was killed immediately. So Gareth was with me from the beginning when I started rallying in 2009. So
Gareth from Wales, wasn't he?
From Wales, yeah. So he was a massive part of everything that I'd done, and he still is. And it was a massive blow for me because he was like my wife. He was
the voice in your ear all the time.
We spend so much time together. And he's like me and you are now. We spend so much time in the car, sort of 12 hours a day. Between the recce's, then flying over to events, going to and from airports, and on the phone all the time preparing each rally. It's I would have definitely spoke to him more than my family. He was like a wife, brother. I don't know, call him what you like. He was my best friend. So it was a massive blow for me. But in fairness, Garrett's family were massively supportive for me to go back driving again. So.
And has it knocked your confidence at all? I mean, do you think about it now again?
I think I'd be a bit, Brad, if I said that I did knock my confidence. Of course I did. I was involved in a fatality. It's not something you can just erase my memory and get on with. But I tried the best I could. Of course, the first rally I went back and done after the accident was Rally Finland, which is traditionally the most bravest rally in the world. It's the fastest rally in the world by far.
The Finns are mental.
Yeah, it helps as well. So the roads are mental fast. Okay, it's on gravel, so it was probably better. It was a different surface I got back with, but it was probably one of the most difficult rallies I could have chosen to come back at. And believe it or not, I probably had a bigger accident in Finland than I did with Gareth. I had a really, really big crash on the second last stage of the rally when I was leading the class, and I got up and walked. Well, I broke my wrist, but I was able to walk away from it myself, and Paul, my new co-driver, were absolutely fine. So it was actually a good thing, because I think it was like a message from him or a message to me to say, look at what happened to to me and Gareth in Sicily was a complete freak. You know, the rally accidents, generally speaking, you can get out of them and walk away. And you know, that one we had in Finland was a massive crash, and you know, we got out without a scratch. So it kind of gave me more confidence afterwards to say, you know, these things happen. You just have to get on with it. So
that's inherent, really, in all motorsports. Is always the same. There is that element of danger. That's why the viewers watch. That's why the drivers drive.
Yeah.
That's
why everyone does it. It's like a drug. You know, there's no. You know, I think anyone that says they don't enjoy or they don't get a good feeling after having a moment that, you know, fifth or sixth gear, you know, over 100 miles an hour, and you have a big slide and you're coming close to something and you get away with it.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, if anyone says that they don't enjoy when you get away with it, they're lying. That's the real buzz, when you're absolutely on, you know, even when you're just on the edge of traction, you know, on high speed, fifth and sixth gear stuff, and you're absolutely on the limit of the car, and you can feel the car moving slightly from side to side, and you know, especially, you know, somewhere like San Remo in the dark, you know, if you're doing a 55 kilometre stage and you know you're just on the limit, it's
in the dark.
There's no better feeling. Yeah, no better.
I feel bad about going out Mondello track in a single seater in the daylight.
Yeah.
Formula Shane, I've done Formula Shane around Mondello. It's one of the most exciting things I've ever done in my life. And they're not fast. It's nothing to do with speed or anything. It's just there's nothing in it. There's a temperature gauge. That's it.
Yeah.
And a handle that happens to be a gear stick.
Yeah. No, I never drove any single seaters or anything remotely like that. So, but for sure, each to their own. But I think the boats that I get for my driving, I couldn't get it anywhere else. Definitely.
No, but you're at that pinnacle. You're at that point in a career now where moving up is getting more difficult.
Yeah.
Obviously, because there's such a push on for that top spot all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, to have an Irish driver getting where you're going at your age is brilliant. We don't show enough support in this country, even though rally driving, the community in the country is massive. We don't show enough support in the general public. I don't think enough people go to view it, and I don't think we see enough of it on television. We're more interested in showing Premiership football than we are in showing a bit of motorsport.
I know, it's a problem I have I can't get any sponsorship in Ireland, which is a crying shame. You know, it should be the easiest place for me to get sponsorship at home, but you know, I have to look further afield to get money, because nobody knows what I'm doing, and a lot of the news people, a lot of the TV, it just falls under the radar. So you know, I've won 2 world titles, and you know, I may as well have won a county championship. You know, it just unfortunately. Okay, at the time there is a little bit of recognition, but it just all slips under the radar. So
yeah, it's always been that way in Ireland, though. Particularly motorsport and rally driving. Like, I know a few of the smaller rally drive guys. Even my brother-in-law is a co-driver, right, on some of the smaller rallies, and he couldn't get enough sponsorship to buy his tyres.
Yeah.
And they do okay. Like, they're all right. They finish all the races and things, but it's like a pastime. But it's like one of the most expensive pastimes you can have in your life.
Yeah. No, it's a bittersweet, like, because when you go over to France, and you know, this weekend the Rally de France is on in the World Championship, and I presume you would have heard of Sebastian Loeb.
Yeah.
It's his last ever rally this weekend. So, and you know, the amount of support that's there, they reckon that they're going to have millions of people, you know, actually watching the event. And
I'd say he's one of the superstars of rally.
Thousands of people. Yeah. You know, and it's just so popular in France. And even when I go to France, the way I'm treated over there, because even the fact that I'm involved in a French manufacturer now, you know, I've got so much support, and you know, I'm in the media in France quite often, and you know, even places I've been like Czech Republic and Canary Islands, you know, I never even thought there would be a rally car in the Canary Islands. I never met such enthusiastic people, and you know, we're treated like movie stars there for the week, and then I come home and it just all kind
of rains.
And it rains and pours.
It just turned into the normal sort of day. Yeah,
exactly. So it's.
But then I think fame to some degree in Ireland is a little bit different. People who think they're celebrities, and I use the word celebrities in inverted commas there, the ones who are on television every once in a while, don't get treated the same as celebrities, say, from the UK or even from Germany, where we wouldn't know any of them. Over here they don't get noticed at all, but over there they're absolutely huge. I think it's the nature of Irish people that kind of go, I won't speak to him, I don't know. I don't want to say anything to him, I don't want to disturb him or anything, you know.
I'm not looking for fame. I don't want to walk down the street and, you know, hey, you know, I don't want any of that. I would just like it, and not just me, you know, there's a lot of other people. There's a guy from Cork, Keith Cronin, that's doing Rally France this weekend, and he's a chance of winning one of the World Championships, and yet he's, you know, slipping under the radar as well. It's just you know, and the list goes on and on.
And it's not even just rallying. There's a load of motorsport stuff goes on every weekend all over the country, and we know nothing about it because they can't get any money behind it to do any advertising for it. And it's a very expensive sport. All the motorsports are expensive. There isn't.
It's the biggest free spectacle that, you know, if you go to a I know nothing about any other sport other than rallying, but if you go to a soccer match or a hurling match, you know, you pay at the gate to get in. You pay at the gate to get in. And, you know, any other sport you pay at the gate to get in. Rallying, you park a car up and you stand in the ditch and it's there for free, and yet we're paying hundreds of thousands to be there and driving, and you know, it just doesn't make any.
So things are getting harder now. There's a bit of a recession on as well, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
Where will it bring the sport next year? If we don't start seeing more sponsors coming on, is there teams going to die out there?
Yeah, well, you know, there's only actually one manufacturer in the World Championship at the minute that's running, you know, completely off their own steam, and that's Volkswagen. The rest, Citroen have been sponsored dramatically, or not substantially, should I say, by Abu Dhabi. And the Ford withdrew from the World Championship last year, and M Sport, which was a team that were running the Ford rally team, they've taken over, and they have sponsorship from Qatar. So it's a lot of the Middle East tourism people are paying for this for the team to be in the World Championship. So
VW were doing their own thing. VW is obviously the bottomless pit there of the VW.
Yeah, they obviously
seem to have.
It's a massive group. Now they do have sponsorship from Red Bull, but I'm sure it's not, and it's substantial. But I think a lot of their budget comes from themselves, and you know, the budget that they have is incredible. So. Now, you know, we're fortunate that some new manufacturers are coming in. Hyundai is coming in next year.
Seen that rally car. Looks kind of cool.
Yeah, with the i20, so that'll be interesting when that comes. And you know, hopefully the sport will continue to grow as the economy grows. So that's the biggest problem. It's to do with the economy. It's when the tools that you're required to take part in your sport cost that much. It's not easy. You know, it's not like football. You can't just go onto the Alfie Hills and buy a football and away with you. It's
So anyone starting out in the sport, where would they go, or what would they do if they wanted to actually get in as a driver or co-driver?
If you wanted to be a co-driver, it's you know, you just need to join your motor club and get your name out and about, and I'm sure you'll find someone that's starting off that wants to take on a co-driver as well. And if you want to drive, I'd suggest you rob a bank or remortgage the house or do something along those lines.
You'd have to have your own car, would you?
Yeah. Well, you can rent a car if you want. If you wanted to, you know, try your hand at it and see how you get on. But
what happens if you can't?
You can insure the cars. You can like we have a car rental company, a rally car rental company, that we rent out rally cars, but on a higher level. And he would have to, the customer would have to insure the car just like he'd insure a road car.
Yeah.
Obviously the premium is a lot more because the risk is a lot more. But yeah, that's how he would start off. But I think just the money involved is just, it makes it too hard to start, and there's no subsidies from anyone. You know, it's, you know, the price of tyres and fuel and entry fee, and okay, there's junior rallies that you can start off in, and you know, and it's not just, you don't have to do rallying as such. You can start off and you can do, you know, autograss or autocross, or you can do these time trials, lots of other bits and pieces that you know, once you keep off the road, once you go off the open road to get your adrenaline out of your system, well, and that's, you know, that's good to me.
Go get a race driver's license first, which I have to do now. Is the next thing I'm doing with Mondello. I'm going to get a race driver's license.
Oh, alright, okay. I don't even have one myself. I have a rally one, alright, but I've never done anything to do with. I might just slip under the what's required to get one, but I've never actually done my test or anything like that. So it's I've only got my rally one. And
so a driver's license, a rally license. That's it.
Driver's license and a rally. I have an international rally license, so I don't know what that entitles me to do, but I can do my job. That's all that matters to me.
Well, listen, it's been a lovely interview. You're a very first rally driver I've ever met. It's quite relaxed. Normally you're on edge, ready to go, telling you how to drive and things.
Well, it's actually it's a fit and break, because I'm in the house since I came back from the gym, watching all my onboards for next week, and my mind was starting to.
That wasn't Jeremy Kyle then, no.
No, it's Jeremy Kyle. No, I've been watching them all morning, so my mind was starting to get a little bit tangled. So it was a welcome break. So I need to get back into the rain again now and watch some more, and then have the spuds and watch more of them again. So
have the spuds. Then back training.
Back training this evening. Yeah, hopefully it dries out, or else I'll be having the Mac and the sack on and away with me. So
best of luck with the upcoming race.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll do well in that. And hopefully we'll hear a lot more about you in Irish circles and things. If anyone's listening out there from the media, somebody will stick a TV camera in your face. We get you on RT as well. Very good to meet you, and I'm going to drop you here and leave you that.
Perfect.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.